So today, I think you will get to know about the Data Hub, how we can benefit from the Data Hub as a user of data, how we can access the Data Hub, how we can use, download, navigate through the catalog, and also some APIs, some real-time examples as well. Yeah, so I think I would probably start, Bente. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I hope you're able to see my screen.
And you turn off your camera as well?
Yes.
So, yes, thank you.
So NextGEOSS Data Hub, it's I mean, the name as suggests, it's a hub, it's a data catalog. We are storing the metadata of different Earth observation data. So it's not actually a data storage, but rather an access point to different repositories. The Data Hub is currently powered by an open source solution called CCAN. As most of you are quite familiar with that, it's one of the world's leading open source data platform. And we are leveraging on the technology that has been developed in CCAN. Right now, the Data Hub is operating in a multi-cluster cloud, which is provided by our partner SESNet, who is a member of EGI Cloud Federation. So Data Hub is operational. It's hosted in a very highly scalable infrastructure that helps us to address different needs and also provide access to data in the latest fashion. Right now, the NextGEOSS Data Hub is operated and maintained by Deimos with support from the Ethiopian. Jovanka, she's representing the Ethiopian today, and she will explain you some specific features of our Data Hub. You can access this Data Hub online in the catalog.nextgeoss.eu. So feel free to do that and explore yourself and give us some comments even while you are in this webinar. I would play some videos to get you familiar with how some of the functionalities that are made available. So as you can see here, that's once you log in to our catalog, that's the page that you are presented with. And just to quickly navigate through, so you can search in a different ways. I will explain you in the course of this presentation. You can look for a data provider, data collection. You can draw a map and look for the data for a specific region. You can select start date, type of data you require. So let's begin that with a use case of me. I'm looking for some data in the south of Europe and a bit of north of Africa. And I draw this map, and it's searching for this data. And then it gives me a set of results that has been harvested in our catalog. And as you can see here, just to pause a bit, as you can see here, it already gives you access to different data coming from different providers on a foot map. So you can already go to the map and choose the area which actually applies to you more. So for example, in this case, I prefer a certain area, right, this one. So this is a data which is provided by Vito from a ProvaV collection. And once I go through and read through the metadata, I have access to the download links. As you can see here, resource download. I can download the product, I can download the metadata, and I can as well go through the description of the metadata. As you can see, this is a quite recent data from 3rd of October. And also there is a way to provide feedback on this data. If you have used and you want to share your feedback to the community, you can also do that. And we have some sessions, I think, later tomorrow, where you learn more about how this user feedback tool is implemented, how it can be very useful for you. Moving on, so I can choose some another data sets. It also looks like from ProvaV. Then I can choose. I'm selecting another source of data. In this case, it's coming from the Sentinel-2 collection. So it also in the map, it shows me exactly which area this data has been captured. The same way I can download, I can access to the data. I also read the metadata of this particular data set. As you can see here is also the data that's been captured last day. It was Sunday. So as you can see here, we are providing access to very recent datasets. That will be something that you are currently looking for. Apart from that, so I can also look for example, for my work, I need very recent datasets. So that's why I'm selecting the data coming from last 2 days. The similar way, I can also explore the different datasets that's being made available via this catalog. So as you can see here, there is the data coming from Sci-Hub, some of the data from Vito, for example. The similar way, I'm going to also explore and decide if I want to download data or want to use OpenSearch API that we'll explain later for my application. I think that's the overall goal, to help you as a data consumer to search for datasets. Well, I think that's one of the use cases. The another use case is if you are not sure. So, for example, you want to look for in situ data, and you have for the same area of interest. I can also search by following these simple steps, and as you can see here, it gives me some result sets coming from several providers here. And for example, I'm looking through the list of data collections that are applicable for this in situ source, and I'm going through this list of data collection, and I'm choosing, for example, tidal data that's of interest to me and for my work. And as you can see here on the map, although it might not be very visible, there are a few dots. I think that's where the source of data, that's where these data were captured. And let's see how I can access these data sets. So I zoom on the map. I can, for example, also go directly where these data sets are made available. And I decide to download. So I click on this download button. As you can see here, I have the access to download the product, also some additional information. As you can see here, this is an operational data that's been provided by Instituto Hidrográfico, a Portuguese institution to provide several indicators in the coast of Portugal. And I'm navigating through it, and I'm deciding to download. So as you can see here, I can download this data. And I might like to know about some other information about these data sets, and which I'm able to do that here. As you can see here, this is also data which has been captured very recently on the 2nd of October. Similarly, I can also look directly with a keyword. For example, in the case I'm looking for tidal data. But I think I was thinking about something when I was capturing this video. So that also gives me access to the similar data sets just by searching the data in the free text search bar here. And the similar way, I can also look for data. So in this case, this data is specifically coming from north of Portugal, a place called Viana do Castelo, where I can actually, similar way, I can go and download the data that I require for my work. So as you can see here, you can learn about who is providing data, who is the data provider in this case. And so to summarize this part of the presentation is that it helps you to, the front end of this catalog is the first entry point to get you familiar with the catalog. In some cases, you might be interested to know what type of data available you can download manually and use in your application. But there are also other ways that will be explained later, is use the API. So when you are building an application you want to use systematically, we have the OpenSearch API that you can use for your applications. I would like to also explain some other ways you can also search datasets in the catalog. So in this case, like going through the data providers tab, which gives you a list of all the data providers from which we have been harvesting data into NextGEOSS. So you can see here the different varieties of data. And just to clarify that we are actually, the approach that we took has been user driven. It means that internally and also externally, we engaged with several data providers and we identify their needs, and we have been cataloging these data sets. So when we started the project, our first requirement was to fulfill the needs of our pilot applications and what type of data they require, and that's how we started. And later, our offering of data cataloging has been expanded, and we are actually inviting other data providers internationally, and also Europe-wide to catalog their data for a wider visibility. Well, sorry about that. I think just, yeah, so let me just move ahead. So yes, so this is the way we are exploring different types of data sets. And as you can see, there are different flavors of data, like satellite data, in situ data, model data coming from several projects. Like one example I'm showing here is EPOS. It's engagement that we did with this particular project is also a publicly funded project, and we are cataloging this data for a wider reach. In this case, for example, if I'm a data user, I'm interested to download the data. I can choose on the map where this data in the similar way which I explained earlier, and I can learn about it and see if it fits my needs, and then I can go and it gives a wide range of information about where these data are and what type of other informations. And yes, and then I can download the data directly for my work. So this is so it means that even if you're familiar with a data provider, you can go from data provider and see what are the data that's made available. You can apply the similar filters. Similar way, you can also search through data collections. We have more than 100 data collection. As you can see, you can browse through like satellite, in situ, model, some statistical information, and data that you can access. So in this case, for example, you can look at the data coming from JRC, but some models related to flood maps that we have cataloged. So in this case, if I'm interested, I also, similar way, I learned about the data, the metadata of this data, and then I can go and download the data. So in this case, I decide to download. Yep. So there you go. So that's one example of the way to search data. And also, just to show you our intention and also our approach has been to address different flavors of data. As you can see, like we try to expand the portfolio of our catalog to include satellite, in situ, and different types of data. So that was one of the need of the time, because we were living in a very difficult times with the COVID and also with the pandemic situation. So we also even catalog the data that might be required by the community to access a constant feed of the data about COVID. So you can see here, this is data that's coming related to COVID with the rate of infections. So it means that our approach has been to address different types of data to build interesting applications. So it's not only focused on a particular type, but broaden the scope of our offering. Apart from that, our catalog is not only about the data, we're also cataloging our services. So we do, the data hub itself is a data and a service catalog. So we do have some services coming from NextGEOSS pilot applications, and as well, we have extended this offer to external entities to catalog their services to become accessible, to approachable, and maybe have more traffic going to their services, for example. And all these services are divided into several thematic areas. And just example, like in marine domain, we are able to get in touch with FAO in the scope of GeoBlue Planet. That's one of the geo activity. And sorry about that. I think. Well, apologies. All right. So yeah. Let me just go back here. Yes. All right. So one of the services that we cataloged was from a FAO, and it gives an access to different services that's made available from FAO. So if you come to NextGEOSS, it means that you get access to data and also different services which are available in the EO ecosystem. So this is one example I'm going to showing here is about one of the pilots from NextGEOSS, like agriculture monitoring, and you will learn more about just right after our presentation from Vito. And you can also explore what the service does, and you can have access to, for example, the community portal or the way to access the service itself. So it means that the NextGEOSS Data Hub becomes a place where it fulfills several needs from you. So for example, if you're looking for data or looking for applications, so it gives you that that flexibility. So let me move on to some other features. All right, I think I missed one. Nope. So this is all right. Yeah. So apart from that, the idea behind this catalog is to support you, and I mean you as a data consumer to be the center of all this activity. So we do have a service desk. It means that if you are, for example, if you're looking for certain data sets, you're unable to find that, you can definitely raise a request. Your journey doesn't end there. We do have a process. So we request you to raise a request, and someone from the operations team will pick up this request and investigate and interact with you to understand what your needs are, and then we can make that data available for you. So this is what I'm doing here. I'm logging into the service desk just to show you. So you see here an option called data request. You can make a data request, and someone from our from NextGEOSS team will get in touch with you to help you to catalog your data. And also, not only that, you can always welcome to provide a feedback on our catalog. You in fact request for a new feature. So for example, I want a certain feature to be implemented that will help my work. So for example, I can raise this form like, I want this feature X, and submit. And similar ways, we will receive this request and we'll get in touch with you once that feature is made available for you. And with that, I do like to share some new feature that we're going to bring very soon, is that the motto or the philosophy behind our catalog is to make sure that a user who is coming to our catalog gets an access to data. It means that we are not probably have able to catalog all the data sets that possible. So that's the cases. So how we can improve the user experience. So that's the work we are doing with GEOSS, and that's the collaboration we have. And soon you will see this small option called search in GEOSS. This is not yet available in production. We're just finalizing this aspect. So it means that while you are in our NextGEOSS catalog, you can trigger search to GEOSS portal without leaving this front end, and you can search for data sets directly from GEOSS. So it means that if you are looking for a data, it means that we are trying to give you all the tools that are necessary so that your needs are actually are fulfilled. So that has been our goal, and this is the work or commitment that we have in NextGEOSS. A similar way you can look for data and download data that you require. So with that, I will conclude my presentation. I hope you find it useful. As I told you, feel free to use the catalog and give us feedback. Tell us if you need something in a certain data set that's missing, and we will try to get in touch with you. Thank you.